Hello everyone, my name is Victoria Chavez and who you hear in the background is Coco. So if you hear him throughout the video, it's because he's agreeing with us. And I am welcoming you today to how I declare war on the flu and the cold. Now, we talked about what the flu is and the symptoms, and now we're going to go over how I declare war on the flu in the winter and in the fall season. But to disclose really quickly, I am not a doctor, and this video is only for educational purposes, so please read the disclaimer in the end of the video. And now that we gotten over all the legal jumbo gumbo here, I'm going to go over some of my go-tos when I feel like I'm coming down with something. I always keep these in hand since I'm continuously working with the public, and luckily we have a lot of people that come to me for holistic options to combat a cold or a flu. So to start, here we go. We're going to look at the Echinacea. So Echinacea is one of my go-tos to use to help boost my immunity. The plant, it is native to the eastern and central part of North America. And if you can see here, it usually comes in a cut and sifted manner. And I like to have the fresh plant in hand. I'll show you a picture somewhere in the video of how we grow it. So the parts of the plant that we use, you can use the root, you can use the leaves, and even the petals on the plant. For many years, a lot of the tribes used to use it for its antiseptic properties as well as a painkiller and to help treat snake bites. But now we use the plant due to the claim that it has to ward off colds and flus and to help soothe sore throats and promote wound healing. Some believe that it can actually help fight against highly infectious diseases such as mumps, smallpox, and measles. And in reality, I don't know if that is true or not. But from my experience and from the research that Pearson said, he reviewed about 100 to 200 types of documents stating that Echinacea had the ability to fight against viral and bacterial infections, and that it helped treat and restore wounds and lessening the inflammation of these wounds. Again, I don't know how these trials were monitored, but personally, from taking Echinacea, I feel that by taking this lovely herb, I have been able to increase the ability of my body fighting against viral and bacterial infections. Now, the only thing with this, I will not recommend taking Echinacea for more than 6 weeks because of its because of its adaptogenic properties. So your body can become used to it. So after 6 weeks, I tend to switch off to a different herb, and then that one is called Astragalus. Now, the Astragalus plant, it is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, and usually it is used in Chinese medicine. There's a name for it, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I feel like I will insult the public. But this plant is actually pretty cool. It smells a little bit earthy. And if you can see the little ridges on the bark here, okay, so this plant has a lot of benefits to it. It helps boost your immunity, and it has some anti-inflammatory properties. So it makes it easier to fight against upper respiratory infections and inflammations that could be occurring in your airways, okay? Now, there's another one, which is my absolute favorite, and that one is called elderberries. Now, elderberries has a very long history of its antiviral properties. And the only edible part of the plant is its berries and its flower. The rest of it is considered toxic and is not recommended for ingesting. My favorite way of taking it is in a syrup form. It makes it easier for ingestion. So something like this. And this one is actually combined with raw honey and bee pollen and ginger and some other herbs, including a mineral called colloidal silver. Now, elderberry in itself has provided support for colds and flus and sinuses and inflammation, and some believe that has helped them with constipation and even exhaustion. Many have claimed that it has the ability to help with chronic fatigue syndrome. Again, I don't have any data backing that up, but I think that is very beneficial, and I do see a huge difference by taking elderberry syrup. For instance, if I get a cold within 2 days when I'm taking it as indicated on the bottle, I tend to feel much better and practically have no symptoms left over. And the cool thing about it, the really cool thing about it is this consistency. Mine is more of a syrup form if you look at it here. And I like it because I feel like it coats my throat. And if I don't want to take it that thick, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. If I want to have it that thick at the moment, I actually mix it in a little bit with hot water. Now, we mentioned that this one has honey, and I feel like honey is one of the most excellent gifts that nature has given us. And the reason is because honey has a lot of beneficial properties for your health. One of them is loaded with antioxidants. I'm sorry, I got some elderberry in my teeth. And it's loaded with antioxidants because of the way that the bees pollinate. If you think about it, bees pollinate in so many different plants. Some of them are flowers, fruits, veggies, and we are getting all of those nutrients in our honey. The nutrients that they're gathering to create pollen and to create honey are in their nectar, correct? So we have the ability of absorbing all those same nutrients. Now, I want you to think about something. Have you ever eaten honey with some type of fruit? Well, one of my favorite ways to have my honey is with fresh strawberries. And if you look at the properties that strawberries has, it also has the ability to be an anti-inflammatory and a diuretic. So sometimes when I have a headache or I feel like a migraine is coming on, I like to take some honey and put it on my strawberries and eat it, and I feel so much more relieved. But in the meantime, I want you to think about these herbs that I've chosen for my go-tos. But there are so many more immune-boosting herbs. And for now, I stick with these. The cold and flu, the elderberry syrup, my Astragalus, and my Echinacea as my choice. But if you have any suggestions, or if you have some that you've come across and you would like me to talk about them in detail, please shoot me an email, okay? Because I love to hear your feedback. And I also like to talk about different options that we have to help fight against a cold or a flu. I want to thank you again for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to my page, to the Miss Victoria's Health and Wellness Forum. I don't want you to lose me out there, so it's very important to hit that bell right there next to the subscribe button so that you could get notifications of some of the new videos that I may have. Thank you for watching again. Victoria Chavez with Miss Victoria's Health and Wellness Forum.